Yo, what's good people? Welcome to the 4th episode in the new series I'm doing where I simulate these 6-star locked champions being at a 7-star rank 3 level, and I answer the question, is this champion too strong to be a 7-star? For anyone who's seen a episode in this series before, you can skip ahead, I'll put a timestamp somewhere, but for the new people here, I'll quickly explain the rules. If you look at a ascended 6-star and a 7-star rank 3, you'll notice the 7-star rank 3 has a 23% increase in both attack and health. Of course, this is not the only benefits what 7 stars get. They also have the higher challenger rating, which means a increase in stats. Normally I will focus on the extra critical rating a 7-star would get, but for TIGRA that wouldn't really do much for her, so instead I will focus on the extra block proficiency a 7-star TIGRA would get. You can see from the higher challenger rating, for on gained a additional 596 block prof, and then you get a additional 650 from the stat focus. That's an extra 1246 block proficiency, which ideally is very close to what the Guardian synergy gives at 1250. So we can just give TIGRA that and then give her a 20% green boost, which boosts attack and health by 20%. For the 23% increase in attack and health that 7 stars rank 3s get, and bam, we basically have a 7-star rank 3 TIGRA. Of course, this is not exactly how one would perform, but it gives us a very good idea, and it gives me a opportunity to talk about if I think she's too strong to be added to the 7-star pool. So straight up, tinfoil hat on, has Kabam not released a 7-star TIGRA because she's probably the fastest serpent counter? She's definitely not the most reliable because her neutralize is 100% potency, right? But serpent is extremely stupid and has a 125% chance to trigger his death immunity. So even when you have the neutralize on serpent, there's still a 25% chance he will trigger his immortality, which is complete balls, to be honest. I don't know how else to explain that. That shouldn't be in the game, in my opinion. But if the fight goes your way, if the neutralize does shut off the death immunity, TIGRA is easily the fastest serpent nuke for Battlegrounds, and I know a lot of people struggle with Sentinel. Well, TIGRA is a great counter for him as well. I know the idea of playing TIGRA scares a lot of people, right? A lot of people think she's some super tricky champion to play, but she's not really, especially in Battlegrounds. All you have to do is heavy counter a couple of heavy attacks and learn the spacing on the defenders you want to take with TIGRA on their special attacks. It doesn't take that long to learn. Like for example, I did not know how to TIGRA dust before this video, but I went into the fight and I quickly learned that all I had to do was dash back from her special one, stay close to her when she throws her special one, and throw a light, then charge my heavy, and there you go, I've learned the spacing. So basically you just need to practice the spacing a bit if you want to get good with TIGRA on your opponent's special attacks. And even if you don't do that and you just want to stick to heavy countering the opponent's heavy attack, that can work as well, and you will nuke a lot of fights by doing that. But the problem with that is you can take a lot of block damage if you're baiting out too many heavy attacks. We all know what the AI is like. Its peak, sometimes it does 5-hit combos into your block, dashes off, does another 5-hit combo into your block. Sometimes it just doesn't throw their heavy attacks. So ideally you do want to learn the spacing of the special attacks on the opponents you plan to take with TIGRA, just so you don't have to bait out too many heavy attacks. Otherwise stuff like this can happen. Maestro just didn't throw his heavy straight up here, and this has happened to me in so many Battlegrounds matches. Hopefully the AI stops doing this when Kabam fixes the AI, because they said they're going to do that. But you can see that he gained his glancing buff, so it's over for me. He literally didn't throw his heavy attack until he gained the glancing buff. Typical AI. Also, if you're wondering how TIGRA versus Maestro works, just in case you don't know. The neutralize does not stop the glancing buff, so what you have to do is basically get as many heavy attacks as you can in before Maestro gets to 10 charges, and as long as you can do that, a single special 2 into a special 1 will nuke him. She's also one of my favorite Kindred counters. As most of you know, the way you need to fight Kindred is punishing his special attack will pause his charges. If you pause his charges, you won't take degen damage, and TIGRA can very easily pause his charges thanks to being able to miss the final hit of his special 1. She has always been my go-to Kindred counter, and some metas I will actually run the 6-star TIGRA in my deck, because in certain metas the nodes can make Kindred a very annoying defender, but more times than not TIGRA shuts him off completely, makes him easy, and if she was a 7-star, I think she'd be a pretty great counter to Enchantress. You don't really have to bait out any special attacks in this fight. You can pretty easily nuke Enchantress before she throws a single special. The problem in this fight though is the block damage, and we all know Enchantress has one of the worst AIs. If you do push her to a special 1, good chance she's going to throw a special into your block, and then like you're gonna have to mess about removing her spells, removing her miss, which could cause your senses to fall off. So this fight could definitely go wrong, but I do see her as a pretty great Enchantress counter. Before some TIGRA demon comes at me in the comments though saying I could have done this better, I could have done that better, I'm far from the best TIGRA player, but I can definitely play her if I need to. In the Battlegrounds metas, there's definitely a few matchups I can do well. I mostly use TIGRA for like Kindred, Red Skull. I would use her for Serpent. I do know how to do that matchup, but F Serpent, I ban his ass every single match. But you don't really have to be too good with TIGRA to play her in Battlegrounds, is what I'm getting at. You only have to land like 4 heavy counters and heavy counter 1 special attack, throw your special 2, and your opponent is dead. Does that really sound that difficult? Like, fighting Serpent with a normal champion is much harder than fighting Serpent with TIGRA. So I think she's a bit overrated in the sense that people think she's hard to play. She's not overrated as a champion. Oh hell no, she is a insane nuke, but she's not as difficult to play in Battlegrounds, at least, as people think, or as people have been led to believe. You're about to see in the next matchup though, there's definitely a few downsides to TIGRA. She's about to take a massive amount of block damage from Onslaught. Yeah, you could play this slow and do the method where you block a single hit of Onslaught special 1 to get the debuff on you, so you get free willpower healing, but then the fight is going to go much slower and you'll end up with about the same amount of points. So you can either play it safe and have the fight take about 3 times as long, or you can just go for the nuke, and more times than not this means taking a considerable amount of block damage against someone like Onslaught at least. But you can see 29-second fight, that'd be around a 50k score in Battlegrounds. In this Red Skull matchup, the only thing you need to know is before you heavy counter Red Skull's heavy, you need to do a light attack just to inch forward. As long as you know that, pretty easy fight. I can actually nuke 7-star rank 3 Red Skulls with my 6-star TIGRA in under 40 seconds, which is insane. 6-star TIGRA still out here doing 30-second fights. So do we really need a 7-star? Honestly, I would say TIGRA is on the border of being too strong, and I don't think Kabam want to release one because of how badly she destroys Serpent. They probably want to release a even better Serpent counter before they bring a 7-star TIGRA out. Do I think she'll be one of the 6 new OP 7-stars that Kabam said they're going to release? One for every class. They have already revealed Nick Fury and Apocalypse. Will TIGRA be the Mystic champion? I don't know, man. Honestly, I think I can see them bringing out a Doctor Doom before TIGRA. Honestly, bro, maybe. I mean, TIGRA does need high sig, so maybe that makes it a bit more likely that they'll release a 7-star Tigra. But honestly, I think it's going to be a while before we see one. But that's going to be the end of the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd appreciate it if you drop a like. We on the road to 10k subs, so I'd massively appreciate it if you hit that sub button as well. Thank you all for watching. See you all in the next video.